No, sí, él entiende el juego. ¿Qué pedo, qué pedo? Ah, eres tú. Estaba viendo mi celular. Ay, güey. Pues estaba viendo a la pandilla del Monterrey. Ya empezaron a jugar chido. Ay. Voy a seguir con la historia. Porque se me ocurrió salir de esta zona y me mataron. Bueno, me encontró un enemigo como del doble de mi nivel y me mató. Sí, hay madres, qué pedo, qué pedo, qué pedo. Quiero hablar con ella si no os moleste.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls? When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Bueno. Que las enfermedades disminuyen la calidad todas con el medicamento correcto, en énfasis en correcto. Habla con el paciente de la habitación que se encuentra detrás de Dorothy para comprobar su estado de salud. Bueno, pero necesito que se quite. Bueno, es que pedo.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Good evening.
Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me
¿Sí o
your
no?
name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
A ver, espérate.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you
¿Ves?
need
Te dije
any
que no era yo.
Doctor.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick.
Ok.
Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Preguntas personales, pero... ¿Qué tienes, hijo? Si está enfermo en la garganta y quiere que hable el hijo. Puta madre. A ver, espérate. A ver, chinga.
Good evening, Doctor.
No.
How's my son doing?
Ella
Goodbye,
no.
Mrs. Goswick.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
This hospital seems to be
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
¿Ya lo curé?
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
Do you need any help?
Thank you, Dr. Reed, but you've done enough already. The rest is up to me now.
Ok. Creo que ya lo curé y no sé cómo.
But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Good evening, sir. Doctor,
Doctor.
I will not let you down.
Recuerda que la sangre de los ciudadanos te puede... ¿De qué? Te dará un impulso enorme de experiencia. Busca ciudadanos de tu mismo nivel. ¿Qué? De tu mismo nivel de mesmerización o menor y elige con sabiduría. Ah, sí, bueno. Ese vato, bueno, estaba jugando un poquito antes del directo. Ya, pues siempre hablar con varias personas, pero no entiendo cómo hipnotizarlas o algo así.
It's locked.
Pues acá.
Please, Jonathan, come in.
Ah, aquí mi mamón, el Hamlet me recibe.
fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand
Soy
new life.
vampiro.
How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
Sí, qué culero.
There is an absurd poetry to my situation. Physician, heal thyself.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
Fine, Edgar.
I'm not some doe-eyed student, Edgar. I understand we both have
Edgar.
something to gain from this.
Ay, tienes razón, alguien deja dislike. ¿Qué pedo?
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors.
Ajá.
Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
No entendí qué pedo. No me explicó qué tengo que hacer. Solo que voy a buscarla. ¿Y la amenaza qué? ¿Cuál es su amenaza? O puede que sea el primer güey que volea por... que sea el primer güey que voleamos por mencionar a su primo de 6 años. Es que su primo de 6 años... Es que es un dios, Amaury. ¡Ey! Es esa vampira.
Dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough.
Sí, suena saludable, me cae.
Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet lady of mercy.
Pues no tengo el mafia, pero después de la semana de terror de Amaury,
It's a pleasure to see you
puede
again.
que empiece el Red Dead Redemption.
You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a vamp... The lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Pues ya veremos cómo me va con este juego. A Swansea.
So it seems our Dr. Swansea does indeed have a fascination for creatures of our constitution.
Dr. Swansea is a remarkable man. Dedicated, one might say, obstinate. He spent years compiling our bestiary.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea.
El primo de 6 años.
Cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
Por favor, no entiendo qué hay que hacer.
Insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
Yo pensaba que era Omar, pero ya tenemos demasiados likes.
Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
¿Es verdad?
Is it true?
Now aren't you the blunt one?
Oh, chinga. Es algo lógico.
We both are afflicted with a thirst for blood, Lady Ashbury. That is our nature. By vocation, we also have reason to visit the hospital. Logic dictates.
In all honesty, I'm not simply a patron to the hospital. My visits serve a dual purpose. Dr. Swansea has been treating my condition with a revolutionary technique of blood transfusion. It seems you are a specialist in the domain.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Pues bueno. No entendí nada, pero está bien. ¿No puedo cerrar la puerta? ¿Qué pedo?
What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Dr. Swansea is quite busy, and I need you to help me get acclimated. I have many questions.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse or doctor. I've seen so many.
La visca es que no alcanza a ver sus ojos.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was it a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. Instigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut.
Mames.
I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on.
Se tengo que encontrar a una enfermera cachonda. ¿Qué pedo? Supongo que tengo que interrogar a todos.
The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
A ver... Está arriba, está abajo, puta madre. Vamos a ver una que está afuera. No sé qué es pedo.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
No, la verdad no.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in this hospital?
I have no time for such triviality, my dear colleague. We're here to save lives.
Ya sé, y eso quiero.
Goodbye, Dr.
Tú no sabes nada. Están muertos. Ajá, creo que pretende esta madre que investiga a todos, ¿no? Ay, qué
Good
hueva.
evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Hace Fallout los sistemas para hablar.
Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
Quite a blunt introduction, Mr.
No mames.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Ah, mira. Claro, el negro me tenía que vender armas. ¿Por qué? Porque es Londres en 1800. Claro.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in this hospital?
¿Quién más iba a ser el líder?
I'm not surprised someone tried to make money from them.
What kind of secrets?
I'm not in the gossip business, Dr. Reed. If you want to know more, you better talk to Harriet Jones. She's the oldest patient here.
Oh, carajo, es la misma.
Goodbye, Milton.
Amor, es racismo. El único que me vende armas es negro. El Bulldog. A ver, ¿tú eres la cachonda?
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here.
No tienes cara, pero...
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth.
Realismo. No.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
No más, me veo recricoso.
Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Puntos personales, el laboratorio médico de Tippets, subir en Londres. Bueno, no entiendo cómo las hipnotizo. No, pues es que, bueno, no he matado a nadie, así que tal vez sea eso.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have criminal backgrounds?
The people who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor. Just like the patients.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Ay, mames. Te preguntar a todas las enfermeras a ver quién está viendo las patas este dios. Bueno, quién está comprometiendo al hospital, si lo queremos ver así. A ver. No encuentro a esa doctora Crane. ¿Qué pedo?
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
What can you tell me about this strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift.
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if the nurse finds some happiness where she can?
¿Qué crees tú? Pero, ¿qué hago?
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
Como en el señor Burns.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Parece que es ella, pero puta madre, ¿cómo le pregunto?
Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Nah. Estoy seguro que juega algún juego que sea más... Bueno, que hable aún más. Ay, puta madre. ¿Qué me dice la pelirroja? Porque no encuentro a nadie, carajo.
Is our little mystery closer to being solved, Dr. Reed?
Más o menos.
Nothing else, my lady.
My situation is delicate, and it occupies all my thoughts. The blackmail must stop. I need assurance.
Oh, chinga, no me voy a dejar hablar con ella. Esto que... Sobre el misterio, tío. A ver dónde me lleva esta madre. Ajá, bueno. Pues como los de Telltale. Bueno, Chumar. Estamos buscando una enfermera promiscua. Escucha, presiona L3.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
¿Y la enfermera no me vio? Mames. A ver. Una de las enfermeras se acuesta con el extorsionador y ella le dice que pedo. Y le parece sospechoso que la gente se muera por carencia de sangre en sus venas cada vez que viene la pelirroja esa. Porque ya se me olvidó el nombre. ¿Cómo se llamaba la vampira? Ni me acuerdo.
He's locked the door behind him. I need to find another way to follow him.
Pero no puedo desmaterializarme. Tal vez no. No mames, alguien se subió. Ay.
This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
Back to the floor. Skull. 2 Skull. ¡Ay! Mames, no tengo resistencia. ¡Ah! Te va por zorra. ¿Dónde está el otro? ¿Dónde está el otro? Ven, ven, ven. Ya me voy a cuidar de una vez. Ah. No puedo morder, neta, ¿eh? Mejor lo mato. Hay otro, ¿no? ¡Ay! ¡Ay, güey! ¡Ay, ay, ay, ay! No, y lo peor es que no lo veo bien. ¡Ah! Chale. ¿No puedo teletransportar o algo así? ¿Baja gris debajo de la vida? Creo que sí. Bueno, no comprendo del todo qué es. Gafate con púas. Beware. Ja. Ok, esto es mucho espacio. Uy.
What sort of creature is this?
Ay, qué pedo. Ah. ¿Qué es esto? ¿Y qué sabe la enfermera esa? Ah. ¿Qué pedo es esto? ¿Alguno de ustedes sabe? ¡Ay! Bueno, sí, es una bestia. No es un hombre lobo. ¡Ay! ¡Ah! Ah, ya. Ah, tal vez, Ah. Y no lo puedo morder. Pero quién sabe. Si existe esa madre, dudo que me aparezca al principio del juego. Ay. No mames. Me va a matar. Ya no tengo curación. Ah. Ni siquiera llegar a mitad de vida. Ay, mierda. Ah. No me va a cargar cuando llegue, es probable. Pues voy a configurar mis armas porque no entiendo, sigo sin entender bien qué pedo. Y bueno, la guadaña está chida, pero creo que es muy lenta. No, al principio. No, no. Espera. Ah, claro. A ver, ¿cuál estoy usando? Esta. Ah, ¿cómo? Esta hace 99, 100... Vamos, mira. Sierra usada, chuela, bla, bla. Solo es esta madre, pero... Pues va. Ay, que me marcó tu madre. Ah, la verga. Oh, esta madre está muy fuerte. Ah, la verga. Sí, muy. Ah, sí, muy. Ah. Ñándele. Ah. Se debe quitar vida cuando lo muerdo. Ay. Ay. Ah. Cuidado. Ah, pendejo.
Here's what's left of him. Not a lot to check, but I should anyway.
No mames. ¿Qué es esto? ¿Qué? If you're sick, where you're from, come to see Dorothy to get help. Just find that you aprecian his coupon. ¿En qué idioma está el segundo? En francés, ¿no? Dat is een triple na zich dat uit niet nachts. Ook nee af is die oriënte ach beni.
Some voucher for a free checkup in Whitechapel. What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find her.
Concuerdo. Me tengo que cuidar. ¡Dale! Mames, qué pedo con el garrote, está intenso. Ciudadano, es posible que el ciudadano... Ok. Mames. Ya deja de llorar, ¿sí?
Are you injured, sir?
Help me get out of here. I need to get out.
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd be glad to help you, but you must calm down first. Please, take a deep breath and tell me your name.
Okay, I'm Oswald Thatcher. Please, I need to get out.
Mr. Thatcher, your friend Newton sent me to help you.
Ah, ya.
Do you remember him?
Hace rato hablé con alguien.
Yes, I do.
Good. Now leave this place and enjoy the cool night air. It's quite invigorating.
Es una misión secundaria, creo. Pues adiós. Regresar a su distrito la siguiente noche. Ok. Que los vampiros no pueden abrir puertas o porque solo lo contemplaban. De chingada de discreción. Ah, pero la verdad que es como una resistencia. Ajá, bueno, estabilidad, resistencia, como le queramos llamar. Si se las quito, los puedo morder. Pacha, 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 pacha. Ay. A ver. Madres, ni me aguantó nada. Si me saco de... ¡Ah! Me quemo, me quemo. Ay, 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 ay. Te voy a volverme a cuidar. ¡Ey! Te me calmas. ¡Oh! ¿Una bayoneta neta? ¿Bajas de huevos? Gracias. La. No pasó nada. La. Pues, bebé. Ahí como llegó de vuelta a mí.
It's locked, all right.
Verga. Ahí. Ni hice nada. ¿Cómo sabe que se va a Ah. Ay, pendejo, desprecio poder al imbécil. ¿Cómo saben que soy vampiro? Me atacan por presentimiento. Los huevos. Mira, ahí hay otro. Buenas. Mira, ¿cómo saben? Yo estoy caminando por aquí nomás. No puedo. Es que no. No hago nada. Y me atacan. ¡Qué huevos! ¿Cómo subo? Ah, así.
It's locked.
No subo. Entonces que bajo. En vez de... Está bien nomás, está bien.
I cannot enter.
¿Cómo demonios voy de vuelta al hospital? No sé moverme por esta ciudad. Lo bueno es que creo que estoy encontrando un chingo de cosas. Ya, mira, si me vieran haciendo esto, están en todo su derecho de atacarme. Pero no, pues... Si don huevos... Me siento Nightcrawler. No puedo teletransportar ya. Ah, huevo. Bueno, si no me deja hacer nada como Dark Souls descarado o algo así. Llegar a Whitechapel. Enter at your own risk. No mames, ¿qué clase de gobierno permite? Pues, ¿qué es esto? ¿El Estado de México? No mames. Está culero. Uy. ¡Ah! Mierda, me quedé sin resistencia. Ve el vato de las estatuas. Carga con madre. No. Ay, güey. Ah, ya saliste tú. El otro no lo maté, según yo. Ay, au. Ah. Ah. Puta madre. Ahí van dos. ¡Ah! Chinga.
It's locked.
Ah, bueno, me dice que está abajo esta madre.
I cannot enter.
Ta madre. Entonces, ¿de qué maldito lado es? Y aquí no me deja.
This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fella.
Tengo que rodear o algo así. Mames, si parece Estado de México. Hay un niño muerto ahí. Uy.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
¿Y cómo?
No one's there.
Es que no soy muy listo. ¿Perdón, kitties?
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nethercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
It's locked, all right. I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
¿Y cómo sé dónde está la iglesia? Bueno, estas fallas en la historia son geniales. Clayton. ¿Estoy buscando un poeta o al...?
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm a doctor, Mr. Darby. I care about everything involving public health and this epidemic.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain Nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital would bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
A ver qué pedo. Ningún diario.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
Ay, qué lindo.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
es una desgracia.
It's a disgrace. People are left to die alone. No one is properly informed of the risks.
These are bad times indeed. So much for the glorious British Empire.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more
Es
than
como el
once
meme de Will
from
Smith.
frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really
Sí, yo no maté a ese güey. Yo así no maté a ese güey por ser un vampiro. O sea, si soy un vampiro, pues yo no voy a matar a ese güey.
I must confess, some of my rational views have been shaken by recent events.
I'll remember to stay away from the district's roughest streets then.
Atrás. Bueno.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Farewell. ¿Y dónde está el otro vato? Güey, ¿qué haces? ¿Espantando moscas? Encontrar el buzón. Ah, mames.
I cannot
Ah. La puta. Se asume que cualquiera que entre aquí es vampiro. Ay, güey, ¿qué es esto? ¡Ah! Un católico. Uy, no mames, sabe karate. Ah, la madre. Ah. Mames. Corre, güey, corre. Mames. Está bien, pero... Ay, no mames. Perdí, yo estoy buscando cómo rodear, maldito. Ay, güey. Resistido. Ah, la verga. No, sí, yo. No. Está OP, los católicos están de... No. Resiste el garrote, cambia algo con filo. Concuerdo. Más bien está... Bueno, ya me aventé un poco de imbécil. Pues está viendo si podías rodear por ahí para seguir la historia. Porque no puedo entrar a ningún lado, maldita sea. Aparte, según me puedo desmaterializar, pero no puedo atravesar paredes. Ahora entiendo la lógica de Rodrigo. Porque no. Ay. Esto es acá. Me sigue confundiendo. A ver, ¿cuál de los que son una mano hace más daño? Machete. Ah, mira los balazos. Ah. ¿Qué peor es que no les hago daño? ¡Ah! ¡Ah! La verga. Creo que a lo mejor es una zona todavía muy fuerte para mí. Dudo que tengan que ir por ahí. No ahorita. Igual me parecía que podría resistir un poco bien las balas el carnal. Ay. Estoy pensando que usted va a conseguir la sangre del pequeño para usar los poderes sobre católico. Es que el peor es que creo que lo puedo usar 2 veces. Gracias. O sea, solo lo puedo usar 2 veces. Igual creo que me serviría evolucionar ahorita. Ahora no puedo entrar a la iglesia y cerrar del otro lado. ¿Dónde estaba el viejito oído? Entonces la verdad, y aparte tendría que administrar muy bien. Según yo se puede mejorar las armas, pero no estoy seguro cómo. A ver, por aquí se puede. ¡Órale! ¡Ah! ¡Ah! ¡Muérdelo! Ya no tengo balas. Bala por todo eso. No sale de su casa. De una neumonía. Es que buen juego, en serio, para pandemia. En cuanto a Richard en el área. Good evening, Richard. How you doing? Hello, Richard.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
Preguntas personales.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott.
Quiero ver si decía algo de su del otro señor que
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
Morboso. Es la palabra que yo sabía.
Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
Camellia es nombre de vampiro.
Not much. And that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
¿Qué onda con el fetiche de las mudas?
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
Espera. Uptown. Ahora eres rico y vienes aquí a pendejear.
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you if I can.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Ya. Pues no me contestaste nada. Se abrió la puerta. Uy, uy, uy. Cuento al buzón. A ver, que tú eres muda.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly.
¿Qué? Chinga. ¿Cómo le pregunto cosas a una muda que no hace lenguaje de señas? No mames. Ese pendejo aquí.
Very well. Goodbye then.
O sea, ¿qué clase de doctor soy? Mames. Aquí preguntándole cosas a la muda que no habla. Obviamente no va a hablar. Ahí está el buzón. La carta de Darius Pets. Lamento mucho no haber escrito su nombre. Ha sido difícil, sí que puede sonar egoísta y tonto cuando ustedes, hijos míos, viven en un país consumido por la guerra. Pero también hay una guerra aquí en Inglaterra. Una guerra contra la pobreza y la injusticia. Puta madre, amor. De verdad, esto es tercermundista lo que sigue. Esta es una guerra en la que tengo intención de participar, pese a mi edad avanzada. Por eso les escribo hoy. No volveré a Rumania. Esto probablemente significa que no volveré a verlos antes de morir. No están tristes, queridos hijos míos. Ya han crecido y tienen hijos propios. Saben del sacrificio que a veces debemos aceptar para hacer del mundo un lugar mejor. Este es el que yo debo hacer para sentirme útil una vez más. Les deseo una larga y feliz vida. ¿Qué? Besen a mis nietos de mi parte y recuerden que el amor de su padre trasciende incluso la distancia hasta este gélido país. Como siempre, su padre que los ama, Darius.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter.
Frank el paso.
Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
O sea, el periodista así bien chido y no pudo ocurrirles revisar la basura. Perfecto, perfecto. Tiene una voz chistosa el vato.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again. Go away.
Se ve que de nivel 2 de mesmerización.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
Ta. Esto puede ser casa de un zapatista, la verdad. Me da mucha experiencia. ¿Dónde está?
Control yourself. Calm. Calm. I need help.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Razvan Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, doctor?
¿Tenemos anestesia?
It's too dangerous to operate with these convulsions. Sedative, nurse. Do we have any anesthetics?
I'm sorry, doctor. None at all.
Pues va. Así, limpio. Limpio.
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
Sí, sin sentimiento, como doctor de IMSS. ¿Qué sugiere? ¿Ustedes la que operan en estas condiciones?
What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes,
ya, o se muere o se enferma, cualquiera de los dos. O sea, ¡puta madre!
He's still bleeding, doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, doctor?
I can't see. Yes. I have this, nurse. Allow me to finish the procedure. I need the room.
I'd prefer to stay and see this through. This is my patient, doctor. I have needle and thread for stitching the wound.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, doctor.
Ay. ¿Y si no hago nada? ¡Ah! No sé qué hacer. No sé de medicina en lo absoluto. Aparte, pues dice que se le quebró. No, se le rompió algo, tocó una vena. Pero entonces no sé qué hace la epinefrina. ¿Ustedes qué dicen? ¿Algún masaje cardíaco? ¿O esto? Sí, mira, exacto, muy... Va.
A dose of epinephrine, now.
Yes, doctor.
Ah, eso sí tienes. Suena complicado. La anestesia da un buen putazo en la cabeza. ¿Ves? Supongo que se murió.
We've lost the pulse. He's gone, doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could? Is that how you'll report this in your log?
Puta madre.
Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside
Es una
the next?
guerra, güey. No digas pendejadas.
Induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners. I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied,
Y
blackmailed
pillado.
and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
No, solo dejé extorsionar. No, no, no.
No. Your place is here. Jailing you would be an even greater crime. So, here is my proposition. I'll look the other way on your little enterprise. In exchange, you will resign from the Pembroke Hospital and provide me with medical supplies when the need arises.
Dr. Reed!
No, no
That
mames.
sounds like a
No,
business
eso no.
proposition. My accomplice, then.
No, just a privileged client. My research may require the occasional rare piece of equipment or ingredient. I'll pay good coin in exchange, fair and honest, to help finance your noble endeavors.
We have ourselves a deal, Doctor. Good customers are always welcome.
Yes, Nurse Crane. We have a
No
deal.
entendí qué clase, no entendí qué trato hice con ella. Hay nuevos ciudadanos disponibles.
This one stinks already. It's mine.
¡Ah! Tengo que mejorar mi resistencia.
There's one of them vermin.
Ok, eso es, se me fue un disparo. Creo que la opción de besar era mejor, Mauri. Se te murió el paciente. A ver, exactamente. Bueno, sobre todo a Mauri. A Mauri, ¿qué le administramos a güey para que se muriera?
Its effectiveness has been proven by many. Even the flu is no match for the Swanborough cordial.
Si ahorita evolución, necesito dormir un ratito. No, la verdad tampoco los masajes cardíacos tenían sentido. Está sufriendo bueno, supongo que de la garganta, exactamente. No, y pues le abrimos la adrenalina. Omar, tú. Omar dice, ok, ¿por qué no estás estudiando medicina? Te equivocaste de carrera.
Blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Madre, yo soy...
Boys, the bloody crime.
Verga, ¿dónde me metí? Madres. ¡Ah! Lo busqué. Adrenalina, neta. ¿Y cómo lo buscaste? Para ser exactos. Pues le abrimos el torso para... Pero la fuerza de la carga no había disminuido mucho, así que... No sé, se nos ahogó, ¿no? Más que nada. Por lo que entendí. Por eso le pusimos el tubito para que pudiera respirar. Pues se seguía ahogando. Vaya que interesante discusión. Imagínate si hubiera un chingo de seguidores. Bueno, si hubiera así muchos viewers. Si nada, no estás tú pendeja. Si nada, aquí se me murió el paciente. Sería vergas. Ok. ¿Puedo regresar? Dime que sí. ¿Cómo puedo ir sin que me maten? Porque puta madre. O sea, no, o sea, la pistola, pero no tengo balas. ¿Para qué uso? No les voy a pegar con.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Estaba verde. Pero el güey, baboso. Te me hace más daño. Oh. Ah, solo hice daño a él. Ah. Ah, ya entendí todo lo que puso Omar, no había entendido. Bueno, ya con el contexto ya puedo entender un poco más. ¡Ah! ¡Ah, la verga! ¡Me quemo! Omar, si es un doctor, vete a meter tu currículum, no, lo mismo al IMSS, Omar. ¿Cómo? Era de Familia del Futuro, ¿no? Aprendes más del fracaso que del éxito. Buenas, buenas. ¿Cómo están? ¿Cómo están? ¿Todo correcto? ¿Todo bien? Y yo que me alegro. Bueno, voy a mi oficina a dormir tantito para mejorar las habilidades. Que ya tengo bastante experiencia. Evoluciona, pero... Lo sé, lo sé. Es muy Dark Souls, ¿no? En vez de almas tengo experiencia que recolecto con la sangre. Cuerpo, proezas físicas, resistencia, salud. Estas me gustaría mejorar más hasta donde me deje. Ya, las habilidades creo que hacen un daño decente. ¿Cuánto me queda? Es que me queda bastante. Ok, lo voy a dejar así. Agresivas, garras, lanza de sangre, ni sé qué es eso. Abismo, quedas un vórtice de sombras al cobrar vida, las sombras interrumpen. Enemigo, ira, pierdes el control y se lo cedes a la bestia. ¿Quién es la bestia? Por 200, 600. Cosas se puede para hervir la sangre. ¡Ay, qué! Pero se ve chido. Defensivas, coagulación. Ya, ahí está. No. No. Confirmar. ¿Transmitir al paciente? Se parece. ¿Qué? Últimamente, ¿verdad? Que están haciendo realidad. Durante los últimos 3 meses la policía ha sospechado que el distrito alberga lo que podría haber sido centro del mercado negro de los medicamentos de Londres. Pero por supuesto estas sospechas siguen siendo suposiciones, porque no se ha enviado a Whitechapel ninguna fuerza policial con poder para poner fin a este tráfico. No se ha encontrado ningún suministro grande de medicamentos, ni se ha arrestado ningún delincuente importante. A la fuerza se ha suspendido el comité de espera de ejecutar la descarada incompetencia de la Junta de Salud del Consejo de Codiciado de Londres a la población de una victoria fácil y sin esfuerzo mientras la epidemia se propaga más y más todos los días, lo que es aún peor cuando uno se dedica a leer a leer las recientes estadísticas. Descubre que el distrito de Whitechapel está lidiando con enfermedades mucho ¿qué? Mejor. Ya, que la mayoría de las demás partes de la ciudad. Milagro o indicio de una actividad médica clandestina que es ilegal pero eficaz. Otra prueba de la incompetencia de sociedades. Todo lo que se es una indolencia, después de tomarme cualquier apartamento para usted. Ok. Calidad de sangre. Este está enfermo. ¿Qué pedo? Oye, la muda tengo que estar bien pitudo para no sé, ¿cómo se dice? Para hipnotizarla o... Lo de sangre que debe mejorar ha de ser para hacer las habilidades más seguido. Ok. Bueno, mínimo ya sé qué pedo. Esta mueve es una vampira. Hablé tantito con ella y según es vampira. Que está aquí porque le dan sangre gratis. Inteligente, ¿no? Buenas. No, pues cómo no manda a correr, puede ser que eres vampira, mírate.
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
Él confía.
Hiding your true appetites behind a facade of compassion.
Bravo.
Very clever indeed.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
No hace falta pedir disculpas.
So in the end, the accusation was true, wasn't it?
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
I must confess I have not put an end to the blackmail, my lady. Unfortunately, I could not bring myself to do it.
I'm so disappointed in you, Jonathan. I didn't expect this from you.
Lady Ashbury, you yourself admitted how ridiculous the sum of money was. I can assure you, it was all used for charitable ends.
Well, you were full of surprises, aren't you, Jonathan? All right, say I trust you, but you will still pay the ransom. That is only fair. After all, it was you who failed to bring this problem to a satisfactory conclusion.
Sí, ya la
I could
chingada.
agree to that.
And since a lady always keeps her promises, I will now answer any questions you may have.
Acerca de mí, ¿qué empiezo? Pues de usted.
Why does
Swans.
Dr. Swansea allow you to feed on the
Supongo que los terminales o algo así.
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
¿Conoce su hermandad?
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
Ah, ya.
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London vampire society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
And no one suspected you of the murders?
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
¿Yo tampoco? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué me estás acusando de ello?
I know this is beyond the pale, but may I inquire your age?
Really?
Oh.
And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now.
No, eso no... Ah. Eso no es todo, la verdad no me importa.
Why did you save me in the canning factory?
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
William
Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then.
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, scowls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the other way round.
¿Cómo?
What type of vampire is a skull?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
Está potable.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some
Chava,
kind
te
of
pediste una interesante discusión, Eric. Se nos murió un paciente.
Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
O sea, ¿puedo decidir quién puedo convertir en vampiro?
A vampire? Is that what I have?
No mames, espero esté bien pendejo. Ya le bajé el cuello. Ah, no sé cuánta gente y apenas estoy diciendo soy un vampiro. No mames.
You are now an Ekon, and that you shall remain.
Apaga el wifi de mi celular. Un
So
Ekon.
we are Ekons. How can I identify us amongst other vampires?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires, but all vampires are not Ekon. We are but a branch of the immortal tree.
Sí, creo que puedo convender.
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to as vampires. Forget what you think you know about us.
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
Podría ser un error.
I'd like to avoid creating
Sí, la
another
cu-
vampire by mistake anyway. Tell me, how is it done?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
¿Cómo? A ver. Espérate. Espérate. ¿Estás diciendo que tengo que tomar la sangre de un vampiro sin ser vampiro? ¿Es lo que dijo? No mames. ¿Cómo tomé su sangre?
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake.
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
London.
I've been away from London and England for 3 years. This isn't the city I remember.
Things have gone from bad to worse here, Jonathan. I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
¿A qué le teme?
You fear?
Fear has long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting in the wings.
The Spanish flu has hit London that bad.
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things. Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows. Something far worse than the Spanish flu is here in the city.
¿Y qué chingada madre? Bueno.
Are there many vampires here in London?
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
¿Todos serán amigables?
Affable as you, my lady.
I do not see why not. But remember, even the shark smiles before.
No sonríe, es una condición biológica.
Like a lesson from experience.
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience it is best to decline to play.
¿Quién me atacó?
Have you an idea of the identity of the vampire who attacked me?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your new condition by yourself.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is almost never accidental.
Atrás.
When I awoke, changed, I was chased and attacked by vampire hunters. Prepared and well-trained.
Though I can't be certain, more than likely it was the once glorious Guard of Priwen.
¿Alguna vez gloriosa?
Glorious, but still dangerous.
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous. You would be wise to stay clear. They are sworn to destroy our kind.
¿Es un culto?
You make them sound like some sort of cult.
More a society. And like all the best ones, a secret society.
Están caminando por la calle.
Almost gone. But it seemed they have been recruiting.
No puedo ir por la calle si que me ataque un güey que piensa que soy vampiro. No mames, no hagas pendejadas. Pues qué preguntas me falta. ¿De cuántos años, neta? Y no puedo saltar los diálogos, no mames.
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now. And 27 I shall remain.
¿Quién lo
Who bestowed upon you this eternal youth?
My maker. He left this isle a long time ago.
Very well. But I believe there is more to this than you are saying.
A lady has to have some secrets.
Dijiste que me responderías todo.
I bid you farewell. For now, my lady.
I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient.
It's so lucky to have Dr. Reed, you know. I met him in New York once.
If only there were more of us, with less resignation and more determination.
I know I can count on you. I wish I could say the same.
O sea, ¿por qué no me responde nada? Al fin y al cabo, no me respondió nada. Soy una... confirmo, chava. sea, no entendí. Me estás diciendo que durante... Que la gripe española está contagiando como... Que los Skulls se están contagiando con la gripe española. Buenas.
Evening, Edgar. Could I get your professional opinion?
Please speak. But I have something important to tell you.
This strain of flu. It's very different from the one I saw in Europe.
¿Qué no estamos en Europa?
Downright peculiar.
Really? What makes you say that?
No estamos en Europa, neta. Ah, analice la
I
sangre.
just looked at the blood of one of our recently deceased.
I see. Do you have anything more to go on?
Ta madre.
This disease spreads and looks like the Spanish flu, but its effects differ greatly. The London strain is different from the continental one.
This is very interesting. Did you find something else?
Sí.
Yes. Unlike the flu, the infected begin to show an increase in outwardly aggressive behavior. More than simple agitation. Once docile people become violent.
You mean like rabies? Is there a chance we could create a vaccine, Jonathan, like Pasteur? By the stove, that would be smashing.
There's a lot we're not seeing here. But it is spreading, and quickly.
Supongo.
If we don't act, the whole city could be lost.
Los británicos están teniendo una idea de seguridad muy grande.
Opportunity sitting right here in front of us. A weapon of choice.
What on earth do you mean?
Why, you, my dear boy. With your expertise and your blood, we could isolate the properties that course through your veins. Think about the possibilities.
Puedo convertir a Londres en mi rey. Madre, si puedo, pues.
I admit it did occur to me. Blood seems to be the common factor in all of this.
I totally agree. We're in uncharted territory here. Maybe it's just wishful thinking, but imagine the possibilities.
We'll discuss this more later. Thank you for your time.
¿Ya, neta? ¿Es una misión?
No, thank you, Jonathan. But as
Ya,
I
ya,
said,
ya.
I needed to talk to you.
Pues háblame.
I have some rather bad news.
¿Qué?
Yes?
I'm afraid it's your sister.
My sister?
She's to be buried this evening at Whitechapel Cemetery. Your mother published the obituary this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Please accept my condolences.
Sí, quién sabe cómo se murió. Un misterio, un misterio. Estoy sufriendo mucho, mucho. Se murió mi hermanita. Y no tengo ni idea de cómo... ¿Qué pasó, Misterio.
I never thought I would have to attend my murdered sister's funeral. Mary, I can't forgive myself. I'll find the truth about what happened to us. I swear.
Es para allá, ¿no? Supongo que toca por acá. Ay, güey.
We have to stop it! Bloody leech!
Como poner palomitas, no mames. Ah, verga.
It's a leech!
¡Ah! ¡Ay, güey, ay, güey! ¡Le bajas, le bajas! Ah. Au, au, au. Chale, mi pedacito. ¿Qué pedo? ¿Dónde me metí? Madres, 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 madres.